All right, today I got a DOM System D. This is a fairly rare lock to find with a key. There's a lot of Chinese knockoffs of it, and I've been lucky to have a few. This one here has 2 rows of pins with 5 pins each, so 10 pins in here. There's a little bit of security pinning in the top, in that there's some of them that you have to set twice. And on the key pins, there are some that are like drivers that you could overset. Or I mean, key pins that you could overset. So the pins are staggered. So this one's closer than that pin and down, so that if you pick it, you don't have to worry about the right side drivers dropping to the left side chambers or anything like that. So I'll be using a wiper insert here, and I'll get my hand out of the way. So I'll be pulling on it, so counterclockwise. And this is going to cause the left side to bind first. If you go clockwise, I think it binds the right side first. And I have a Peterson number 3 and in 15 thousandths. So it's a thin hook because the wording does get in the way quite a bit in this. And rather than, you can't really pick from the bottom, but you'll pick from like this first ledge here and kind of point inwards to pick it. So the first one, I can't get my pick under it, so I'll go scoop under it. And what I'll do is I'll lift it. And as I lift it up, I'm lifting it with like this area of the shaft, and I'll pull it forward until I get the pin on the tip as I lift it. So now the pin is lifted some, and I keep pulling the pick towards me until I get the tip of the pick right under the pin there, and now I can lift it to the maximum height, and there it's lifted. Well, maximum height, not max lift. I mean, I get the maximum possible range out of the pick. Second one is loose. Third one is also binding, so I'll do the same thing as I did with the first pin and kind of walk my pick back. Click from the pin 3. Or was that 3 or 2? 1. Pin 2. I'll click there. Keeps clicking as I push on it, so 3, 4 is loose. 5 is loose. So it's got to be one of the 1, 2, or 3. So I have this hook 4 that I can reach up a bit further and do some jiggle testing with. So pin 1 seems jiggly. Pin 2, binding. Click from pin 2, jiggling. Pin 3, jiggling. All right, so the first 3 are jiggling. Go back to this 3 hook. Pin 4 is loose. Pin 5 is binding here. So I'll go ahead and, the thing is that if you can get the hook 4 under, I do know that pin 4 is low, but what you can do is you can start from the back with the number, this one, and then since pin 5 was binding, I'll go this way so that if I lift the pin 4 a little bit while I'm doing it, I can get the maximum lift possible on number 5 without overlifting pin 4. So in this case where 5 is binding before 4, I want to kind of walk this pick back so that I don't accidentally overset 4 if 4 is a low lift. Now I'll go check if number 4 is binding. Seems to jiggle slightly, maybe. Let's see. I'm gonna let off tension a little. 4 seems to be jiggling a little bit. 3. All right, I'm gonna go back, check with the high one again. And the left side I found on this takes a bit longer. Once I get to the right side, it'll go really quick. But what I'm looking for is to drop into a bit of a set that will tell me that the left side's all picked. Checking each of my pins with this. 5 seems set. 3, 2, 1. This is just 4. All right, I'm dropping. Who did I drop? See, nothing seems to drop, so Even though I heard a drop sound, I didn't feel any pins binding. So dropped another one. All right, that seems to be pin 4 now dropped. And is pin 4 binding? Pin 4 does not seem to be binding. So somebody else is binding. Pin 1. Oh, pin 1 right here. Seems jiggling. 2. Little click from it, jiggling now. 3. Jiggling, let's check 1 again. Yep. 4, this one can't quite get under, so I'll go to the back. Five, nothing. Might be binding then. Tempting to lift on 5. There we go. I got a little click from it, and I think I got some plug rotation there too. So that might be what I'm looking for. Let's check the right side. If it's ready, I'll feel binders on the right side. Otherwise, I have to go back to left. All right, pin 1 is not binding. Not pin 2. Not pin 3. I don't think. No. Oh, yeah, pin 4 feels binding. So I'm pushing and working my pick under the pin as I push, because it doesn't just straight up go under it. So I kind of work my way under it like this. Click from 4. Pin 5 is binding. Same deal. Work my way under it. Another thing is I could go under it like this and then work my way towards me as I'm pulling. But the shaft of this one is pretty thick, so it doesn't work as well towards the back. Okay, that didn't feel so good, but I think it might be set. There's 3, 2, 1. I think I felt a little bit of plug rotation when I got number 3 there. So let's check this left side here. Pin number 1. Got a little click from it, a little bit more plug rotation. Let's check this right side pin number 1. Yeah, it's binding. Let's get under it. And we're open. So those first 2 pins have to be picked a second time, and I'll show you why in a second. But that is open, like that. So lock it up again. I don't know if I showed the key functioning, but yeah. Now let's take a look inside. Sorry, I'm looking for the autofocus. Let's get pin tray here. First things first, let's get the clip off the back. So what I like to do is just take a C-clip remover and expand it like that. And then that was that side of the clip, and then this side of the clip. Expand it like that, and then that should come right off. Like that. Key. It's got a big gap, so I turn 90 degrees. Push a follower down. There we go. This one does have a master wafer here in the right side number 1 there. So we'll go ahead and try to get these out. All right, I'll do it like this. Right side pins, left side pins. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right side number 5 right here. 4. And that wafer came out of number 1 right here. Right side 5, left side 5, right side 5, 4. And here's one of those pins that you could overset. 3, same thing. One of those pins you can overset. It has a, you might feel like a spool and you can get into that overset area, the little crevice, whatever it's called. Same thing here. Then it looks like this one here looks like it has a steel pin in the middle for anti-drill, and that'll correspond with a steel driver pin. And one of the things I note is that some of these have a curve on the top of them. I don't know why. We'll take a look at that in a second. Nothing special up in here. no milling or anything. Some of these pins have like this curved bit here. Maybe you can see that there. It's got a curve to it, which is odd. Whereas other ones are flat. So I don't know why some are curved and some are flat. Drivers, go from the front. Pin 1 will be on the left. So left side. Wait, left side came out like that. Right side. That. Left side. Right side. So here's that steel pin that goes with the steel pin that's inside the key pin. Right side. Left side. Right side. So you saw that left side took a while to pick, but then the right side went really fast. Not sure why that is. All right. All the springs are just the same, so dump them out. The spring is over here, and then we'll take a look at what we got. Okay, nothing special in there. Let's take a look. And you can see on these front driver pins how it has like a step down. So once you first pick it, it'll step down to that shallower area, and then you have to pick it again. So these front two needed to be picked twice on the drivers. This steel one here, I mean, it also has a step down, but I don't think it ever, no, that's just that step down. I don't think that ever really comes into play. And then these that can be overset. And when I was picking this, I found myself oversetting number 4 a lot. And just because it's a low, if you look at the key, it's a low lift and then a high lift behind. So I'd be lifting this one, and then the shaft of the pick would be overlifting this just a little. It'd overlift it to this kind of area partway through. I don't have anything good to point with. So it'd lift to like this area here, right partway, and it'd bind right here. And then I'd go and I'd push on it, and it would get to this area, and it'd go click. And I'd get some plug rotation, but then I'd be stuck here. So I had to learn to go, and if I had, I had this one binding first, it was fine, then binding, then this one wasn't binding. So I had to learn that I had to go with something that I could go and push up on this one that wouldn't push up on this one. So that's why I went to the deep hook to push up on this one. And then I went back to this one. And I think still I had issues where everything felt not binding. And I let off the tension some and then finally dropped this one down. I think it might have been slightly overset. Dropped it down, and then I felt it binding, and I was able to lift up on that to get that one picked. And then something up front, got a binder. Once I picked that, or maybe it was 5, I can't remember, I got a little bit of plug rotation, which meant the left side was all picked. Then I went to the right. Well, it was all picked except for this first one, which was not binding because it had a drop down. And I picked this right side, and I got to the front. And once I got this to drop down to here, this one was binding, so I lifted that one, and then I lifted this one to finish. And this master wafer didn't really play much of a role, but it's needed in there because without it, this particular key doesn't work. So when you're populating these pins, they have a shape to them, so they can only go in one way. You see these chambers; they have like a little notch out to the side, and that's actually a right side pin, so it goes in here. And if I put the key in, you'll see it lifts it a bit shy. So you need that master wafer in there for this particular key. And when I actually took it apart the first time, I didn't know that master wafer was there, and I left it out because I didn't see it. And then I was like, oh, the key's not working, and I had to pick it open in order to to assemble it correctly. In any case, this is I really like this lock a lot. It's nice. It's the DOM System D. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.